Alright, so what I'm going to do now is basically we're going to take what we worked on yesterday, and then now we're just going to add a little bit more to it. And so, yesterday we learned just a simple I call it this 3-stroke or the 3-tap roll fill. And so the way we described that one was as we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's gonna be our 4-note groove. And so it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. That's what we kind of worked on yesterday. Now we're gonna kind of spice it up a little bit. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna start on so how we talked about 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're now going to start on the 2 and after the 2. So real slowly. So it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's it real slow. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. A little bit faster. And then again, that's also movable. So. So, we're just going now, starting on the and of after the 2. So, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So, a little bit faster. Now, that kind of helps good when starting off a song. So, let's say we're going to sing such and such a song. And then you'll start singing. Sometimes it's a good start. Notice how I add in how I add in 2 bass kicks, two bass notes at the end of those. That I do on the and after the 4. You know how I said we're going to take the and off that last 4 one? Sometimes I'll just add that and then play the 1 because you have to hit the crash on the 1, right? So I'd play it's a double on the foot pedal because you're playing that 4th and 4 and 1 because on the 1 we hit crash and bass pedal. So that's another thing that you can maybe add because it helps fill in the space a little bit. So I guess those might be 2 things that we can work on today. And that is we're going to start now the roll just an 8th note earlier on that second after the second and we'll add in 2 bass kicks for the last and the beginning of the 1, of course. And so real quick, slowly, we'll explain how the two bass pedals will work. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. That's where we'll get those two bass kicks. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Now the truth is, when you start going faster, it might be tough to hit those doubles sometimes. But work on that. And so that'll be something else. That kind of helps fill in the gap now. We're basically, what we're doing is we start off with something basic, something very simple, with a very simple groove, and this is kind of like the next step of the beginning grooves, filling in a little bit more of those gaps. So, slow again. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. A little bit faster. I have to play it a second. Gosh, dang it, I put myself on the spot. Okay, here we go. Man, my brain just farted. I was just explaining it all, and then I think I just took it a little too serious. So again. So there you go. That's just another little add-on. Basically, we're taking what we learned and we're just adding a quarter note before and a quarter note after. So that's kind of going to be maybe like the next thing that we can work on. And that kind of sounds a little bit cooler than just the da-da-doom. But we're going to take these things step by step. I remember I heard a quote from Mike Johnston, one of the guys that I personally like, one of the drummers that I kind of watch his style a lot. He's a drum teacher. He said, in learning you'll teach, and in teaching you will learn. And I think that for me to kind of make these videos, sometimes I do them more for myself, just because when I do these things, I feel like I'm the one that really learns the greater amount sometimes. Because for me to do this, I have to not only just play, just feel it, but I actually have to dissect and think about every little thing of what I'm playing. And I think that that's why this is very good for me. And I'm going to start very basic so that I can take everything that I do know, start from the very beginning, and start dissecting little by little all that I know and actually really understand what I'm playing. So, if you see me mess up throughout this, forgive me, okay? Thanks in advance. So, the next thing I'd like to show before we stop this video and then work on making another video next time, I'd like to do one last thing, and that is introduce the paradiddle. Now, I introduced paradiddle in the first video. The paradiddle, paradiddle. Get good at that. Really work on that. Start slow. Work it up. Because the next roll I want to teach you is going to be an 8-note roll. Remember how in the beginning when I showed you that other one, it was that 7-tap roll? So 1. Well, basically the paradiddle, we're going to put that, because it's 7, but we're going to add that extra and this time on that one to make it 8. So now, to do that one with that last and would sound like this. No, I'm sorry. That would be that last 8. So, what we're going to do is the paradiddle consists of what? 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're getting somewhere now with this. And so, what we're going to do now is we're going to do we're going to do the paradiddle roll. We're going to take that roll that you learned yesterday, which is the 7 tap, but now we're going to make it 8 tap. So we're going to take that same one, but now we're going to make it paradiddles. Nothing changes. We still do the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But now we're going to take those, and instead of just playing it singles all the way through, we're going to add in some doubles there with the paradiddle. Which the reason why I kind of want to teach this now is so that it'll help you practice doing rolls with more than just singles, but teach your hands how to play doubles at sometimes. So here we go. Here's how we're going to do the paradiddle. We're going to start off with all on the snare. So if we go 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. See, that was a paradiddle. 1 paradiddle, paradiddle, end on 1. Okay. Forgive my nose; it itches really bad. So that's going to be the paradiddle roll. That's going to be the very first basic paradiddle roll that we're going to explain. Paradiddle, paradiddle, crash. That's going to fill up all 8 eighth notes of the 4 bar. So we know that we're going to do out of the regular 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Hey, we're getting somewhere. Paradiddle, paradiddle, 1. All of a sudden you start looking real cool when you start doing that. So, and then the way we're going to do this now is this is, again, something that you can move around the kit. Now, yes, I don't expect for all of us just to start blazing paradiddles all the thing. I'm still learning how to do that. But the whole point is that now we have something else to add to our arsenal. So, again, just like what we did in the first video, we're simply taking that same thing and we're just changing it just a little bit. We're not even really necessarily changing it, we're just changing our sticking, the way we do it. So, real slow, one more time, paradiddle. So, again, paradiddle, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Consists of 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you can move this around the kit also. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Alright? Now we're starting to look real cool. So now, when we put this in a faster, this is what it would sound faster. Now, yes, when I did that, all I was doing, don't freak out on me now, all I was doing was just doing that paradiddle, 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 twice. So paradiddle, 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 boom. That's all I was doing. I just kind of prolonged it a little bit longer. But that's what that's going to be. So, again, we're going to start taking these things and we're going to just start moving them around the kit. But first, we're going to get it down on this. And that's why we always want to practice. Even before I made this video, I came to church, did my stretches, did my singles, doubles, paradiddles, because these are always valuable. So, there's going to be our 2 new fills for tonight that we're going to add to our arsenal. Again, recapping, with the first one, we're going to take that little 3-tap fill, and we're going to make it now 4-tap because we're starting on the second and. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Then we're going to stick 2 bass drums in there. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Okay. Then we're going to take that simple 8-tap fill that we learned last time, and then we're just going to turn that all instead of singles. Now we're going to make it paradiddles. Paradiddles. Gotta love paradiddles. So, again, with that. And so I think you'll have something to work with now. 2 more fills. Well, just adding on to the 2 other fills. And again, something to kind of work on. Paradiddle fills.